Alicia and I would like to welcome you to the second series of Speak Up. What if your story can change someone's life? Now today we're very privileged to be at the beautiful Hotel Métropole in Monaco, Monte Carlo. The Hotel Métropole is a partner in this video series. I would like to take the time to thank them for their partnership. The concept behind the Speak Up video series is for leaders to share inspiring stories. And we are very proud to launch this new initiative with this second video today. You will follow us and see that we will have an amazing array of inspiring leaders who will share their personal stories with you. Now today, I am very proud and pleased to welcome my friend and business partner, Alicia. And Alicia is a member of the board of Vitruvius Partners Group, a company that was just founded this year to bring change management services to leisure companies. Now, Alicia, welcome.
Thank you, Bertrand.
And
it's
I'm very
wonderful
pleased.
to be here and in this fabulous setting, as you said.
Absolutely. Alicia, today I think we wanted to talk about change. And it's interesting because change is usually something we tend to resist. We don't like change unless we initiate the change for ourselves, in which sense we are in total control and we feel this is a change that will be positive for us. But most of the change, especially in today's environment, most of the change is imposed upon us. It's change that we don't control. Change that is brought to us either by external forces or by the environment. Now, what is your personal story about change? I would like to cover with you today your definition of change, your feel about the importance of change, because let's face it, change is important, and maybe share a little bit of your personal story about change.
Thank you, Bertrand. Yes. I think the one thing that we can be sure of in this life is that there will be change. And it's the one thing in my life that I've never wanted, and it has been constant. In many, many ways, I changed countries to be here in the south of France. I changed my work, as you know, and lots of other examples of change. And I think particularly relevant today and for our conversation is change brought about by the pandemic.
Absolutely.
Because this has affected everyone. It's a global phenomenon. And for me personally, the change brought about by the COVID-19 is that my work has developed and grown in a way that I could not have imagined before lockdown. What happened is that everyone has been forced to go online. And whilst we were au fait and we knew about platforms like Zoom and Google Meets and Teams, now they are a constant part of our lives and they are the means of communication. So, as you know, I am a communications coach and teacher and trainer, and so people have come to me to learn how to be on camera and how to communicate effectively and with impact on camera using Zoom, using Google Meets, using Teams. So I have been constantly busy throughout the lockdown, and that's continuing. So it has been a very positive change out of a situation which one could view as being wholly negative.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think too that it has really helped me to learn and grow. And that is what happens in change. If you grasp it and embrace it almost, and don't face it with fear and apprehension. A vast learning curve for me. I had to put all of my lessons online for the International University of Monaco, where I teach, and also the International School of Monaco. And it was a great learning curve, but the net result is that I've learnt, I have grown, the people that I work with have learnt and grown as well.
Mm-hmm.
And in sharing that experience, we are all then able to face change without fear and without anxiety.
Absolutely. You mentioned, Alicia, the word fear several times.
Yes.
And it's true that we tend to fear change. And tell me a little bit more about how to manage that fear, how to control that fear, or maybe how to use that fear positively.
Yeah, I suppose that in my communications training, I'm helping people deal with public speaking,
Mm-hmm.
and that is something where people are very, very afraid. And so if I apply that sort of training to facing change generally, I think that what is essential is that you always know that ultimately you are in control.
Absolutely.
That you can take control, that you don't have to feel overwhelmed. When you're speaking and communicating, you are in control because it's your communication, it's your presentation. And so even when you're dealing with change, you can take control. You don't have to feel overwhelmed by it because you can actually take hold of it and face it and deal with it. A lot of the time, yes, I did mention about fear, and a lot of the time we don't confront that. I think that it was in the Rocky films, the boxing films, that Rocky says that it's not the number of times that you hit, it is the number of times that you are hit, and you pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you move forward. And I think that that is a very good message for our audience, that really it's not how you hit, it's the number of times that you are hit and how you get up and you move forward. And that's what you can do with change as well.
I absolutely love this example. Actually, it's right on point. And it's true that to manage fear, I think you have to, first, it comes from your attitude towards fear. It comes from the way you will confront fear.
Yes.
And you will see that, yes, you're right, you're in control. And if you're in control, taking back control, the fear disappears in a sense, or at least you push the walls of fear a little bit further along the way. So it's a very good example.
Thank you.
We are faced with a situation where there is also a lot of uncertainty.
Yes.
And I think part of change, part of the resistance to change is also what's going to happen? Am I going to succeed? What is the future about? And there's also a fear linked to this uncertainty. What is your viewpoint on how to manage that uncertainty? You cannot control it. Uncertainty will exist, but how to integrate that uncertainty into your attitude?
I think that there's a lot to do with acceptance, there's a lot to do with acknowledgement, that you accept that it is a time or a period of uncertainty. And you acknowledge that and you recognise it. Because if you accept that and you acknowledge it, you are then able to again take control of it. So I think that we can accept that there is a period of uncertainty, that change brings about instability, but you can always acknowledge, accept, and then you can move forward and deal with it and cope with it.
Absolutely. Alicia, these are very, very insightful words, and I really thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
And again, speak up, because what if your story can really change someone's life? Thank you very much.